When I released Prison Days Recruitment a little over a year ago, little did I know that I had effectively set the wheels into motion for a further installment in the series. At the time, I was adamant that Recruitment would be the last. In a way, it made sense, or at least to me. Imagine my surprise when, very early one December morning, 4:22 in the morning in fact, I came across the cover for Recruitment and couldn't take my eyes off it. The reason? I'd missed an important cue when I released it all those months earlier. Why didn't I think of this book earlier? I mean, it makes perfect sense when you step back and look at the series as a whole. In a nutshell, the core section, books 1 through 12, as well as books 1 to 5 of Inmates, all told the story of me and my personal experiences. Screwed Up added more depth to the core books, throwing my own feelings and opinions into the mix with an extra dash of color. Monsters brought to light more of the inmates I had the task of mixing my day with. And as for Recruitment, well, that one again brought to light my personal observations about how an officer would tackle the job should they decide to follow in my footsteps. And that's where the issue lay. Where were the prospective inmates? Not the ones I'd crossed paths with during my years inside, per se. Prison Days Inmates did touch on the subject with specific prisoners, sure, but not in the way this book will. No, Fair Game is more about the inmate who might be sitting at home right this second, completely unaware that their life is about to change in a way they never saw coming. This book is for those who may have made a few silly decisions during their life and must now face time in the very place I tried to keep you out of. In short, this book is what I wanted to create for those who might be headed behind the walls without the uniform, or rather, a uniform of a different color to that of an officer. I wanted to write a few words to mentally prepare you for the challenges ahead and how you might need to change your thinking if you're going to survive in one of the darkest places on Earth. It will certainly be eye-opening for you. What I should point out right from the beginning is that the following chapters share the things the way I saw them and may not be relevant in your part of the world. It is the observations I made of new inmates coming in and the experiences they faced as first-time guests of the system. I know the general idea will be the same no matter where you go, but the specifics may change. The terminology might differ, and the order of how to do things might change. What won't change are the basic rules, or rather, the code prisoners live by. It is that code I hope to make you aware of so that if you do happen to face the long and arduous walk towards a prison unit, you'll know who you can wave hello to and who you should absolutely stay the fuck away from. If someone had asked me way back before my very first shift whether it was scarier walking into a jail as an officer or a prisoner, I wouldn't have hesitated to say as a prisoner. The shit they put up with during those first few days is something I couldn't even imagine. Thrown into a proverbial jungle with no bars to keep the animals separated, no real supervision to protect them, just an ocean of harm and abuse waiting for them to jump into. Now, all these years later, and far from the torment of sitting inside a unit, I can safely say that I don't think it matters which uniform a person wears. The fear, the threat, the danger, it's practically the same. Perhaps slightly worse for the officer because of a little thing called naivete. For me, personally, yes, I may have been a little naive, but I was under no illusion about the place I was walking into. Others around me weren't as lucky, a few of them thinking themselves untouchable in a place where lessons waited around every corner. Many believed themselves safe just because of the uniform. Let me tell you something. The uniform means jack shit to most inmates, if anything, giving them an easy way of identifying the enemy. And that is exactly how they see the officers, which is why it's important to remember which uniform you're wearing. This isn't the kind of sport where players shake hands at the end of the match once the final siren blows. My point is, that it doesn't matter much which side of the law you sit on when first walking into this place. The laws will still apply to you, albeit the ones assigned to your team. If it is, in fact, the inmate side you find yourself on, let me be the first to warn you about the dangers awaiting you. Don't take them lightly, especially if, like me, you come from the other side of the tracks where the limits of your police interaction might have been a breath test conducted on the side of the road. If that is you, then my first bit of advice is to shut your mouth and let others do the talking, at least long enough for you to get a feel for your surroundings. One other thing I know is that there will be those reading this book who have actually spent time inside, and I suspect you will know things a lot better than I do. You have to remember that I'm writing this book from an officer's viewpoint, working inside an Australian prison, so I will be sharing what I know about the inmate side from that vantage point. If I do happen to get something completely wrong, feel free to send me an email, or better still, if things run substantially different in your country, why not let me know? I'm more than happy to update this book to include the ways of other prisons from across the world. Or maybe, just maybe, you feel like you have the makings of a book for yourself. Well, there you have it. The reason why I missed the opportunity to write this a year ago, and why I feel a need to rectify my error now. I guess, in a way, it also came down to the endless messages and emails I received from countless fans who constantly asked if there would be another Prison Days book. It is for you that I ultimately made the decision to write another chapter, one I hope you will enjoy just as much as the rest of the series. It is to you I dedicate this book. Now, as I like to say right before venturing inside, grab hold of my hand and hang on tight as we sneak behind the walls of maximum security one more time. Simon.